Hey, this is Grant Luna with Fidelity National Title, and for today's Tech Tuesday, I'll be showing you how to lead generate using Fidelity Agent One's phone app at open houses. So let's jump right into it. So what we'll do first is use Fidelity Agent One. And so a lot of the mechanics of what I'll show you are going to be pretty similar on the phone app. Overall, I think this is great to use on the phone app if you're doing open houses. That way you can easily pull something out as you're having conversations with people, but ultimately the name of the game is providing value to people, sending them valuable information, trying to get a phone number and email address as well. And you can do that really easily with Fidelity Agent One. So one example case that's super simple, and this could be when you're creating flyers as well, or you're having conversations with people, or buyer monthly payment estimates. So that's one of the first major features of Fidelity Agent One. And how I can do that within the Fidelity Agent One app is just simply select this buyer tab here. And then let's say someone's coming into my open house, they're asking me questions and they say, well, what will this house cost me each month? And maybe that's a common question you get. So you can come in here and maybe you're doing an open house and the price is $900,000. You can have a conversation with them right then and there and get a sense of their down payment that they're comfortable with, the type of loan. So maybe they're coming in and they're saying, we're actually going to be doing a VA loan. We're putting 0% down, or they can come in here and say they're doing an FHA loan with 3.5% down. Conventional, they can say 10% down. They can come in here 20% down, or maybe they have a monetary amount that they'll be putting down for this one. So now you can very simply select compute. It's going to generate a monthly payment report for you that you can press share or print PDF on. And so now let's say you're preparing for an open house. This is an easy piece to print out 20 of and start handing out to people as well. But ultimately, this is something that on the phone app that's really easy to use. Once you hit that share button from here, you have the option just to text or email it to somebody. So if someone comes into that open house, they're asking you for information about the monthly payment estimate, you generate one of these reports and now you go, hey, by the way, I can text this to you. That way you can take it with you. You can see this information later and use it as a reference for other open houses. But now in the meantime, I've gotten your phone number. I've sent it to you. I'm throwing you in my database later on. So that's one easy calculator. The rest that I think would be helpful for open houses is under this calculators tab right here. And so one that you could do is monthly affordability. And so how this one works, instead of calculating it from the list price, it's based off the loan amount. So maybe they look at something like that, and I think the number was something in the high 5,000 range, and maybe they go, you know what, that's it's a little bit higher than what we're comfortable with. So we're looking to tap out maybe around the $4,500 range in terms of a desired payment for a house. And that's using a conventional loan here. So now I can select compute. And now based off this desired payment, now it's showing me the buying power that they have at 6.25% interest. So saying $626,000 is the house they can afford at 10% down. Same thing, maybe they're going, okay, 10% down. Well, what if we did 20% down? How does that change things? And it'll calculate that for you now. So now at $144,000 or 20% down, now they can afford $721,000. And this is something that on your phone, you can be showing people, having that conversation with them. And once again, now you have a takeaway piece and say, hey, by the way, let me share this with you. So I can share or print this as a PDF. Now it's going to create a template out of this for you, broken down by different down payment percentages. And ultimately, you can kind of leverage this into trying to work with them as buyers. And you say, look, this listing is $900,000. It's looking like you're maybe more in the high 5 to low 700 range. Maybe we can sit down, get you pre-approved by a lender, and start showing you houses that are in this range instead of this range. So ultimately, you're positioning yourself as a realtor that's going to walk them through that process and also educating them and making or allowing them to be a little bit more informed in their decision making and their time actually looking at houses. Another really good one is calculators over here again, and you can do qualification calculator. And I was thinking an idea that could be really useful for this is maybe you have an iPad and you have the Fidelity Agent One app open on your iPad and you have it open to this qualified calculator, and you can have a little sign that says, curious what you can afford in a house, qualify yourself using this app. And so if I'm a person coming into your open house, I can come to this qualified calculator where it says enter my annual gross household income. So maybe I'm a couple, I've come into an open house. Maybe combined we make $250,000. We can enter in monthly recurring expenses. So maybe we have 2 car payments that are at $750 total. Maybe we're paying off a credit card at $100 a month as well. We can hit compute. And so now based off the debts that we've entered monthly, as well as the annual gross household income of $250,000, It says, given a conventional loan, FHA loan, and a VA loan, what could we afford in a monthly payment? So let's say we're a first-time home buyer. We can select FHA. It's taking us back to this monthly affordability calculator. Let's say they're comfortable with that $6,000 mark. They can hit compute. And now it's going to show them the house price that they can afford at a 3.5% interest rate using FHA. The same thing, this is something that can be made into a template. So you can walk someone through this again right then and there. And you're like, hey, let's have this as a takeaway piece. You can take it home with you and you'll be good to go. So I think that's another great calculator for your open houses. Another idea I wanted to share is how can you take advantage of some of these calculators that are built within this app and have it be a takeaway piece? So maybe you're just giving out open house flyers. Maybe it's really busy. You're having conversations with some people, but you still want something on that flyer that has an opportunity to capture some information based off of value that you're providing to the person that has that flyer. So what you can actually do is use the lead gen calculators from the premium section. And so this is $10 a year or 99 cents a month to sign up. You get a whole host of infographics, lenses, videos, etc. But what I wanted to do to show you how you can use this for open houses is use some of the lead gen calculators. And so I've talked about these in other videos, but if you haven't seen these before, essentially these work similarly where they're calculators that are like the monthly payment estimates, the qualification calculator, but they can be used as links in other cases. So you can use it as a QR code or a landing page. And ultimately, when someone stumbles upon that landing page or scans a QR code, they'll go through a calculator themselves. And on the back end, we'll have an option to leave a name and an email address. So maybe what I can do is open up Canva. I can go to an open house flyer here. This is just a sample of something I've created. And now I have a QR code on this flyer. So when I'm handing these out, I want people to scan this QR code and potentially leave a name and email address. So what I need to do maybe is use one of these calculators here. And so for an open house, maybe it makes sense to do a mortgage calculator here, or a rent versus buy calculator, or a monthly affordability calculator. So I'll do this monthly affordability calculator. And so like I said, you'll get the link to it here. We're going to be putting it in a QR code, but I just want to show you what it looks like. If someone scans it on their computer, for example, they'll be taken to this landing page that will have your headshot, a monthly affordability calculator. They can put in their desired payment. They can hit go. It's going to show them what they can afford. It says, want to see exclusive homes in the price range? They can select yes, put in the name and email address, and you're going to be notified and get that contact information. So we want this potentially like in a QR code. So now I can go to a QR code generator, and I can just click URL, enter this website, download this JPEG to my computer. I can name it monthly affordability QR code. I can come back to Canva. I can throw this QR code now in this flyer here, and I can say scan this QR code to see how much, or we could see to see which house price works for you. So now I have this QR code linked on my open house flyers. So now basically using just one app, Fidelity Agent One, I have the ability to handle many types of situations. Maybe someone that's ground floor doesn't really know anything about real estate, and I can show them the qualification process, talk to them about the things that do get considered when it talks about being able to buy property. I can show people what a property would cost each month. I can even go further down the rabbit hole and do rent versus buy calculators. But ultimately, the main takeaway from this is that Fidelity Agent One, in my opinion, should be your best friend at an open house, because open houses sometimes can be intimidating, scary, a lot's going on, but sometimes it's really nice to slow things down, give people information that is of value to them that they're likely going to take away and keep, have information on it, and also maybe use some resources that incentivize them to give you their information in the first place. So if you don't have this app, there's a link in the description to download and set up this app for you. And if you wanted to sit down and run over this app in greater detail, you can always let me know, shoot me an email or a text message, and we can go from there.